Rockstar came out on June 24th and called Grand Theft Auto 6 a single-player experience, launching November 19th. And within hours, those words had mutated into a much bigger headline. GTA Online is dead, the sequel got cancelled, buy the story or nothing. But that leap skips a step. Rockstar told you what the launch product is. They did not tell you a GTA 6 Online successor got axed. Nobody official said that. So we've got three different questions tangled into one panic. What's confirmed today, what's simply unannounced, and what, if anything, was ever cancelled? Those aren't the same claim, and the gap between them is where every hot take fell apart. Let's look at what you can put your hands on right now. Start with Rockstar's own marketing. Every official beat around this launch points at the same thing. A story you play as Jason and Lucia, a single-player experience with a date on it. That's not a vague tease. That's the product they're selling you for November. Now walk over to the PlayStation Store, because that's where a lot of the panic started. The current product page lists one-player offline play. It does not list online multiplayer. And for a franchise whose online side has basically been the main event for a decade, seeing that gap on the official page hits like a confirmation. But read what it really says. It's telling you what this listing advertises today. It is not a press release about Rockstar's internal roadmap, and store metadata gets updated all the time. What's on the page is real. What's not on the page is just not on the page yet. Same story with Rockstar's edition and support material. You've got the standard edition, you've got the digital pre-order stuff, and nowhere in any of it is there a separate GTA 6 online product being announced. Not a successor, not a launch window, not a bundle. It's genuinely absent. The one thing that trips people up here is GTA Plus. You pre-order, you see a GTA Plus perk, and your brain goes online, right? Except that benefit is attached to the GTA Plus membership that already exists, the one wrapped around today's GTA Online. It's a current service bonus. It is not Rockstar quietly telling you what GTA 6 Online will cost or require. Stack it all up. The marketing, the store page, the additions, the fine print. Every confirmed receipt describes one thing, the story game shipping in November, which raises the obvious question. If none of it mentions an online successor, doesn't that silence just prove the thing got cancelled? Somewhere along the way, the whole thing quietly went sideways. An absence of information got promoted into a piece of information. Think about what no online listed can tell you. It tells you online isn't announced. That's it. That's the entire honest reading. But not announced is a blank space, and people hate a blank space, so they fill it. Half the internet filled it with the gloomy version, it's cancelled, it's dead, story only forever. The other half filled it with the hopeful version. It's obviously coming later, they're just saving the reveal. And this is the part that matters. Neither of those is supported. The exact same silence is getting used to prove two opposite conclusions, which is your first clue that it isn't proving either one. Be precise about the states in play for a second, because they're genuinely three different things. 1. The confirmed story game. That's real, you can buy it. 2. An online successor. That is unannounced, no listing, no date, no confirmation. 3. A cancellation. Also unannounced, because to cancel something Rockstar would have had to acknowledge it existed and then kill it, and there's no receipt for either half of that. Cancelled is a claim. Confirmed later is a claim. Both need evidence that nobody has. Unannounced is the only word the current facts will hold, and it's doing you a favor because it keeps you from betting your pre-order on a mood. Which leaves one fair objection. GTA has literally done the story now, online later thing before. So doesn't history tell us it's coming? And yeah, that objection is fair, because the precedent is real. When GTA 5 came out on September 17, 2013, there was no GTA Online in it on day 1. That mode switched on October 1st. 2 weeks later, so right away, this kills the dumbest version of the panic. Story and online do not have to ship in the same box on the same day. A gap between them isn't a death certificate. It's happened before, on the biggest game the studio ever made. The it can still come later crowd. They've got a point. Separation is completely normal for Rockstar. But here's the turn, and this is the part almost nobody says out loud. Look at how 2013 actually worked. Before GTA 5 ever launched, Rockstar had already announced GTA Online. They'd shown it, they'd given it a name and a date. The 2-week wait wasn't a mystery anybody had to solve, because the plan was public before the disc was in the tray. Now compare that to right now. Where's the announcement? There isn't one. And that's the whole problem with leaning on 2013. The thing that made 2013 predictable is the exact thing missing today. Back then, online is coming was a fact Rockstar had stated. This time, it's a hope fans are projecting onto a blank page. Same studio, completely different situation. 2013 cuts both ways though, and you have to be honest about both. It proves a later online launch is possible, which it absolutely is. And it proves that back in 2013, the wait only made sense because Rockstar had told everyone first, which this time they simply haven't. It even proves that a launch can be messy, because when GTA Online finally went live, it did not go smoothly. None of that lets you put a date on GTA 6. It just retires the idea that silence now is the same as the runway in 2013. That points at the thing you're probably already playing. What happens to the GTA Online we've got right now? Because right now, GTA Online isn't some legacy mode gathering dust. It's a live, separate service that Rockstar keeps reshaping. They spun it off into its own standalone thing a few years back. More recently, they split it into different branches on PC with their own upgrade and migration rules. The point is, this service has a life of its own, and it's still moving. The natural worry writes itself. When GTA 6 shows up, does the lights out switch flip on all of this? And the honest answer is that Rockstar hasn't announced any such thing. There's no shutdown notice, no sunset date, no last season banner. Nobody official has said the current game dies the day the new one shows up. But, and this matters, that cuts the other way too. The fact that today's GTA Online keeps running does not tell you a single thing about a successor. A service staying alive is not the same as a service being replaced, or upgraded, or carried forward. Those are different events, and only one of them is happening in front of us. And the fastest assumption to drop is this: the idea that your stuff comes with you. Your cash, your cars, your rank, your unlocks. Nobody official has announced any transfer path from today's GTA Online into whatever might come next. So counting on your progress carrying forward is a guess, not a plan. Right now, that path simply doesn't exist on paper. If continuity doesn't answer the successor question, what does the future look like? What are the real options still on the table? Okay, so if nothing's confirmed, let's map the ground that is uncertain, because we don't know isn't one answer. It's a handful of very different futures, and each one hits your wallet differently. Branch 1. There's no GTA 6 online successor at all, and the franchise just stays story first for the foreseeable future. Not forever, nobody can promise that, but as the shape of things for a good while. If that's the world, then the game in front of you is the whole purchase, full stop. Branch 2. A successor does come, but later, the way 2013 played out, except this time announced whenever Rockstar decides to announce it. In that world, buying the story game now costs you nothing, because online arrives on its own clock regardless of your pre-order. Branch 3. A successor comes as its own standalone product, the way today's GTA Online eventually became its own separate thing. That one matters to your wallet, because a standalone might be a fresh purchase, not a free bolt-on to the game you already bought. Branch 4. A successor that's tied to owning GTA 6, where the story game is your ticket in. If that's how it shakes out, then buying now might be the entry requirement. Might. Notice I keep saying might. Running under all of it, the questions that decide whether your time even carries value. Does it cost extra? Does your current progress mean anything? Does GTA Plus get involved? Every one of those is open, not leaning one way, not hinted at, open. The honest way to hold all this is simple. None of these branches is the answer, and I'm not going to pretend one is more likely than the others, because the evidence to rank them simply doesn't exist yet. What each of them shares is a price of admission to becoming real. A roadmap, a store listing, an FAQ, something official that names the scope and the timing. Until one of those lands, every branch is a maybe with equal standing, and anyone selling you one as the answer is selling you their guess. Strip all the maybes away. What are you left with, today, as a buyer? This is where all of it lands, and it's simpler than the panic made it sound. Buy GTA 6 for exactly what Rockstar has confirmed it is. The story. Jason and Lucia, November 19th, the single-player game they've put on the table. That is a complete purchase on its own, and it's the only part you can hand money over for with full confidence. What you don't do is buy it as a down payment on online. Not on a successor, not on your progress carrying over, not on some launch date nobody has given you. If any of that ends up real, great, but you'd be paying today for a promise that doesn't exist yet. And to be clear, this isn't the sad ending. Online being unannounced doesn't mean online is impossible. It could get added. It could show up as its own separate thing. It could get tied to owning the story game. The only rule that keeps you safe is this: wait for the receipt. When Rockstar actually names it, believe it. Until then, you don't have to guess in either direction. Which is the freeing part, honestly. You're not stuck choosing between it's dead and it's secretly coming. You get to just watch. There's a real date to watch. The extended look on August 27th. If Rockstar addresses any of this, every branch we just walked either hardens into a fact or falls off the board. So keep your eyes on that, not the thumbnail screaming cancelled. The story's confirmed. The online chapter is still blank, and blank is not the same as closed.